So locked in right away, and alongside Wukong, Wukong can set you up so Kaisa can follow. I'm expecting a more aggressive look here out of FBI to jump in most of the time here with Closer. That man, very aggressive himself, Closer, and on the Wukong should look quite good.
Yeah, absolutely. Easy application of that plasma there. You know, you jump in, you knock him up. FBI can fly in to follow that up. Again, we didn't really see that from Neo. He was playing very passively. I believed in a lot of those 5v5s until it was kind of too little too late. But 100 Thieves has always been really good at playing aggressively towards that bottom side. That is the Braum answer here from Vulcan. So a strong defensive answer. If you go exhaust Braum, Kaisa and Wukong both are going to have a lot of trouble kind of diving past you and into you. Becomes really, really tricky to actually get onto and kill off that Ezreal unless you can kind of 100 to 0 him. The Braum is really going to be disruptive there.
Here's a fun stat, by the way, for FBI.
How fun?
I think it's very fun.
Okay. I'm a FBI fan. I'm just going to keep listing one player per game I'm a big fan of. So he did not play Kaisa at all this year. This is going to be his first Kaisa game of the year. However, it is his third most placed champion all time, most played champion. His highest win rate champion with more than literally one game played of all time by a lot. 79% win rate on Kaisa. He has been really good as a champion when it's been kind of in the meta, when he's been willing to play it. And so I'm excited to see him dive in and you know, kick a lot of heads off.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Kaisa was that kind of every game champion, FBI playing a ton of that. You know, has been very, very strong throughout a lot of different metas. Kaisa, you know, kind of coming back in a little bit. He seems here today. At least, you know, it's kind of like below the top tier very clearly because we're getting like 4 or 5 marksman bans every single game.
Jerry, Lucian, Kalista are, and Lucian or Senna combos, right, are the top 4. Okay, sure. Here we are.
Yep, exactly. But back-to-back days, we are going to get the Ahri here from Abbeddage. So not going towards, you know, Azir, Corki, you know, any of that sort of stuff. As you said, hasn't been played as much. Azir the most picked though out of the big 4. So clearly has been some scaling. Banning away some of the answers will be interesting to see if they're going to have multiple bans towards Jojo. Lysandra really kind of came to priority in MSI. You know, Shahu was so good on that pick, and we saw a lot of people actually kind of picking that up as an answer into the Ahri. The lockdown in that matchup, very, very strong. Traditionally had been an answer into LeBlanc, but people kind of recognizing, hey, this is actually a pretty strong answer to multiple picks. So will be the Azir ban as well. Corki, Victor, both available. We saw Corki yesterday. It was a Corki Ezreal combo that they did go for. So there is the possibility to run that back. But so far, I like the champions around it less for that because they don't really have any engage. They don't have the setup as much in that same way. Of course, you could look towards something like a blind Ornn for impact. Ssumday, you know, is someone who's going to be pretty comfortable. And with Kayle, I actually think it's Ornn for sure now. Unless Ssumday is willing to pick it on 4, but there would not really be any reason for him to do so unless he thinks the denial is super important. Because then impact could go something like Mord, but maybe their comp kind of sucks without any engage. So not expecting it. I'm expecting them to lock support. I'm expecting Ornn from impact. And then we'll have to see, you know, what the answer is going to be there from Ssumday.
Yeah, because when Cloud9 was in this draft position, their bans were Fiora, Gwen. They got rid of the skirmisher options, the fighter options that would do well into Ornn and then split push and be unanswerable. This time, yeah, it's Kayle. It's the licorice option, the one that was eventually used and actually won against Cloud9 when they're in the situation. So
Kayle also good into GP, so that would make some sense.
Kayle's good in GP, yeah.
But I am concerned about like how do you start fights, right? You know, I am never a fan of compositions that have no engage. So I do still think we're gonna get Ornn. We'll have to find out for sure. Zoe, a great poke pairing, you know, with that Ezreal, you know, similar to what they did from yesterday with that Corki, but is instead going to be a more aggressive option. So EG changing things back up a little bit. This feels much more like an MSI draft. You know, going back towards some of those picks that were very popular. LeBlanc, I think it's Jojopyun's probably his best champion. You know, he's been very, very strong on it. He is known for his aggressive laning. He is known at actually, you know, being very successful, you know, in a lot of these 2v2s and 3v3s early on. It was something that was getting banned against him at MSI a ton, and that a lot of players have been talking to me about, like, that being one of the picks that they were kind of scared from him. It is, in fact, Gwen top, so they are going to go no engage. It does make it, I think, kind of like pretty reliant on winning early. Because if you're not ahead early, it's just so hard to actually enter at these objectives. If you are ahead, then, you know, face checking into the Ezreal and LeBlanc, that becomes very difficult. You have great scaling in the side lane with the Gwen.
Ooh, we saw this one earlier. I remember, I think it was Ssumday versus Summit. And he did, I think, really well. Maybe it was Impact in the Summit. Did really, really well in the Akali Gwen matchup. Eventually, too many ganks turned it back around, but was actually winning that one early. We are going for the Gnar, though, a much safer option up there. Another Solid team fighter, right? Press all, hit 4 people, gonna look pretty good over there. Obviously, plenty of ways now to start a fight. Gnar's not bad. Nautilus is great. Wukong's pretty good at it. And certainly Kaisa and Ahri are there to follow up. So definitely an aggressive comp, but a well-rounded team. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift here in week 1 of the summer split of the LCS. Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves doing battle. Both teams at 1-0. And Impact, playing his most played champ of the year, still on the Gwen, has been a much bigger carry force. He has so often been the weak side player. He's on tank duty. You can just, he's going to be gangplank, no one's going to help. But the man has actually been doing a lot of the damage, and he's doing well with it.
Yeah, he absolutely has. And to give him credit, I mean, I just think internationally, he has always shown up. Like, he has been one of those guys that has been so consistent to perform when it really matters, whether it's in playoffs, whether it is international. You really can depend on him to rise to the occasion. And a lot of that has been on some of these carry performances. He really did like the Gwen. A lot of MSI is playing the Ghost Gwen, so we'll see how he's going to be able to perform here against Ssumday. As a nice little check on the brush, will find Huhi, and they did invade on top side to drop a ward there on Raptors. So Closer was able to spot it, but it will very likely reveal that he started top side if the fact that Ssumday is leashing does not.
Giving themselves the red buff start here. We'll see if he's able to path around that trinket ward at some point, but so far shouldn't be, I believe, a guarantee they know he's starting topside. Although now that Gnar's not in the lane, it's like, okay, you probably leashed.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think the leash does give it away somewhat, but the fact that, like, fact is, you're almost never going to skip Raptors there. I would expect if he wants to skip Raptors to dodge it, he could.
Yeah.
But now you're going to see that, you know, almost always you are going to go Raptors there. So as soon as you do that, it is revealed. And it can be kind of understood that he was starting topside anyway, so not that much information given over. Nice little trading there, back and forth from Jojo and Abbeddage. Jojo getting the early level 2.
You auto electrocute, looked pretty good. Yeah, big chunks there. I mean, getting level 2 first as well, already scrapping pretty nicely. And the thing is, that was a Q start LeBlanc. Like, he had no AoE and still got the wave before Abbeddage did.
Yeah, he did. And Abbeddage, I think, wasn't able to even, like, proc his electrocute on that earlier trade. I think that's why Jojo was able to create a pretty big HP advantage, then gets level 2, you know, procking the electrocute again. Getting
you're kidding! Yo, Jojopyun, he needs a level, he needs a CS, he levels up the minion! Thank you, tower!
Oh, Jojo could have killed him with an auto. He actually hesitated there. He went in, thought he was dead. I think it was a biscuit that got popped, and then he leveled up. And as he popped the biscuit, Jojo goes, oh crap, he's not dead, is he? So he tried to step back in, but realized he hadn't reset the tower aggro. Now gonna
that's a charm. That's turret aggro. This boy is dead. Abbeddage steps up when needed.
Oh, Jojo is gonna be kicking himself for that one. He had the first blood. He had Abbeddage dead to rights. But miscalculates here. Let's watch it one more time. I'm almost certain it was like a biscuit pop or something that made him miscalculate. Because Jojo goes in, he gets the Q, he flashes in W. Yeah, I think it was a biscuit right there because his HP jumped back up.
Yeah.
Then he gets level 2. And Jojo tried to step back out of the tower range, but was a little bit too close. Then going forward here, this is very risky. He does hit 3 first, W's forward, but then the charm connects as he autos. And just going straight at him, you can expect Abbeddage is gonna hit that charm. He would have had to be behind the cannon there. But, you know, Jojo going for that really aggressive play would have been a massive deal because that was a huge wave at Abbeddage's turret. If he had actually pulled that off and gotten the solo kill, would have been a tremendous advantage. But now, giving that over means Abbeddage is way ahead. He's playing TP. You gave him the first blood. You're down summoners. That's gonna be a great position for Abbeddage.
Yeah, turns out only TSM are allowed to camp the mid lane and get kills in Abbeddage. Sorry, EG. You don't have the... It's not the initials, you know? You just can't.
This was a 1v1. There wasn't even a jungler.
Yeah. But that, I mean, that's the standard TSM, right? You need, like, 4v1 mid lane. That's how it works.
Okay.
Inspire, gotta get rid of control ward. Good. No. The clapping is enough. The clapping is enough. Okay, Anchor's gonna land, but on the Braum, they're gonna be fine here. The trade back looks pretty good. Sidestep the Mystic Shot, would have been another couple 200 damage. We look at the next camp. Spawn, Inspired. No, it's Closer getting the smite. Well done. That is most of the XP, though not most of the gold.
Yeah, that Q missing on bot side actually a pretty big deal in that trade because you proc both the Braum passive and then get the Mystic Shot damage. And maybe you can even get another auto in on the back end of it. So lucky for Huhi that he was able to avoid that. Jojo still trying to push advantage. You know, he is double the farm right now. Yes, there is some for Abbeddage to pick up, but it is back-to-back days. Abbeddage has really been struggling to keep up in farm against his opponents. He was very far down in Maple. This has been straight up 1v1. And he's the one with first blood and TP, but really getting bullied still in this matchup. And we'll see if he can start to kind of turn that around.
impressively done so far. And you can see as the top lane resets, an 11 CS lead to Impact. Yes, Ssumday leash probably allowed Impact to kind of set the wave how he wanted at the early lane, but I mean, a more than wave and a half lead off of the first like 8, like that's just, it's just, skill diff right there. It's well done to Impact there. Take some damage. We'll get no, not gonna get the last part of it there. Good W to block what would have been Hyper. A lot of damage out of that one.
Ooh, 3 mid coming now for 400 Thieves. They see Abbeddage struggling a little bit here. They're trying to get there, trying to get the setup to actually be able to find some sort of a play. Nice little sidestep from Jojopyun. Closer was spotted clearing down towards that bottom side, and now you got to be a little bit careful here. Inspired is in a good position, will spot Closer. And will it be the very early Dragon start here? That's what they've got to be wondering. So now they're actually wrapping around to look for a bait here. They're going to look for a death trap in this brush, almost assuredly.
Oh, they're brushed though. They're going to get the mid laner. Ulti's available, but we got a lot of damage coming across. Right back off, and it's going to be Closer flashing to safety. Just barely stays alive, but Danny is here, and Danny picks up where he left off, killing Closer again.
I was actually really smart. I like that entire play around Vision 400 Thieves. Very intelligent, but EG just brought everyone up, and Braum really swung things. Yes, they got the hook on a Jojo, but as Braum flies in, Guardian is up, the door is up, Exhaust comes down. Vulcan making all the difference in that one, as surely Impact will have to go back to base here. Very, very low, does have the TP, so not a big deal. But Danny makes a rotation, gets the kill. Really nicely done by EG. Kind of anticipating the plays from 100 Thieves, but it would be interesting to watch that one back because I just thought it was really smart. They clear out the ward, they walk around as though they're in the dragon, and then actually pull back off the dragon to say, okay, EG, you think we're on the dragon, now we set up the actual brush camp to try to look for a kill. So I thought that was really cool stuff to see, even though it did not quite work out for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it's cool because you call it too, like, I expect a brush camp, but it's not that one. Oh, it's the other one. Like,
yeah. Get this with a W. This is cool too. Support leashing the scuttle, I think, there for Kaisa.
Oh, close. If he had just like preemptively EQ'd, would have gotten the stop, but
that's actually a really big deal because if he stops that there, then somebody's kind of locked in the lane with no item and probably has to take a pretty bad base. Would have lost some farm off that. So nicely done by Ssumday to be able to get out. Of course, the early tier 2 boots for Impact. Melee versus range, you almost always are going to really index towards move speed. He has the Ghost, he has the Tabby, so he will have that move speed advantage now. And as a result, somebody's going to have to pay some respect to the fact that if he is overextended in lane, he could potentially get run down.
And similarly, Trinity Force for Ssumday gives him move speed there as well. Of course, using the aggressive option. Doesn't want to, like, rush Swifties. That wouldn't make much sense. Or even Steel Caps himself. So goes for a bit of a combo of damage and move speed as a bit of poke comes out of Danny. Cool, great. Doing Conqueror version, by the way. It's a really good way to stack a bunch of AD. Pretty solid damage in a long-form team fight. 600 gold lead to Evil Geniuses, even with giving up First Blood. That felt pretty solid. Better laning for sure. As we look now at the Herald being attempted. Bit of poke back and forth, but Huhi on the way, Closer on the way, and Inspired. Yeah, he wants to stay, but there's too many people. So can I hold it out here? Can I? No, probably not. Hits it once more. Out it goes.
But now, with Mega actually popped and impacting the push, they're just going to start it again. Because without Mega Gnar and with Impact having that brush, this should be theirs. Neither of the bot laners are moving up. Danny can assist a little bit with an ult if they actually start. So just smart play from EG. They had the read. They get the push through top. That's going to give them access to the Herald. So now 100 Thieves have to cross map again and try to look for a dragon as a response, very likely. Or maybe go for an invade on the red buff. Try to see if they can set anything for that up. Will EG try to take control over their own jungle? Danny playing very respectfully here, knowing that he could be getting wrapped around on. So he's sitting back in that area on the map because this is that little spot where they would wrap around on. He had a ward here in this brush, so he was just kind of covering this sort of section there on the map, and that's why he's not actually farming out that wave. So smart stuff from him there. 100 Thieves looking for a play.
Yeah, they're going to try Abbeddage right in the front. Gets knocked up, though. Flashes, but they're going to shut him down all the same. Jojopyun gets one. Looking for a bit more in there. Kaisa is hitting. Inspired barely lives, but he's burning. He's burning, and he's going to fall. Closer trades one back.
1 for 1, but again, 100 Thieves had the extra member there, so it is positive, you have to say, for EG. Danny going to be pushing out bot. We'll see if 100 Thieves can get anything done elsewhere. But EG, giving as good as they're getting. Vulcan has been such a difference maker, it feels like, in these fights. The Braum has been really, really effective. Landing the ult on the Abbeddage, the exhaust again. Guardian and Wall is so big in this, and he tagged him with the ulti himself. The Braum passive can follow that up, so has been really nicely played by Vulcan thus far.
Yeah, really, really good. We got the CC and got that pick, so that's pretty cool. Still pretty close in gold right now. Still yet to see our first dragon, but with the Herald in inventory, you have to imagine that's going to be plenty of money coming in at some point. Plate check, 0 taken for either team. So probably just going to be that 300 gold Rift Herald. Not the highest value yet. Maybe it gets paid off later if you can find the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, this game has been so heavily based around mid lane, right? You know, the early pressure from Jojo, and then everyone has been kind of just piling into these fights here. Nice tag initially there from Vulcan, then backing up with the door as he dashes in, tags him, knocking him out of the last charge there of his ulti, and he already had the passive on top. So Inspired piles in, the autos there landed as well from Jojo to proc that passive. They do get the kill. FBI on the rotation is able to join with the Kaisa ult, which was really nicely done to trade one back, but still, when you have an extra man there and you go even, you are losing somewhere else, and EG was pushing in the bot side. Now they're able to actually take this dragon away. So taking both those early objectives.
And he thinks it's time for the play. Of course, nowhere near Gnar. Ghost is on. Ult's trying to land as many as he can. Has the big snip available. Big slow as well. Repositions. One more auto should kill, but it's not going to be enough. His E wasn't ready until just now. And that was never going to be anything but under the turret when it happened. So Ssumday lives. He's Gnar soon. And knows Impact does not have the burst anymore.
But now Jojo moving up. You can see he's actually rotating up. Abbeddage is on the follow here, but he can actually turn around and try to brush camp. So this does get a little bit dangerous. Jojo realizing that they're not actually going to be able to pull off any sort of dive, Ssumday meg it out. So I really like the option to try to threaten the fact that you're still moving for the play, draw Abbeddage up. In this case, it does not amount to much. But again, intelligent plays around vision from both teams. I really do like how thoughtful they are being. They're thinking one step ahead. Okay, I'm going to move top, so you're going to follow. I can't actually pull off the dive, so I'll brush camp and look to create pressure.
And ultimately, no, it doesn't fall for the play. Abbeddage stays alive. He trade back and forth, sidesteps the chain as he puts damage towards Jojo, takes the better half of it. I believe Electrocute not triggered by the LeBlanc. Land everything he needed. Q auto, not enough in that case. Huhi there to say hello to mid lane. Knocks down the minions again and get rid of vision once more. As that set of wards right there, the control ward on the brush and that green ward over there, pretty much guarantees that you will see if LeBlanc goes bottom side.
Yeah, I mean, 100 Thieves has been moving towards mid lane a lot to try to help Abbeddage reset these waves. You know, has been pressured pretty heavily in this 1v1. It feels like, despite actually, you know, getting the first blood himself, you know, have made some good rotations to really kind of get him out of some tough situations. But the game thus far, very, very even. The FTX gold advantage is basically nothing. It is, you know, 100 gold in the favor of EG. They do, of course, have that first dragon under their belt, but things looking really, really even.
Yeah, and Danny going for the same build he went for in the previous game as well. We have seen, I would say, largely Trinity Force Ezreal. I think it's generically his best build, and if you're trying to force one build every game, it's Triforce. But it's once again Essence Reaver, Manamune. He did Cyrilda's Prowler's Claw.
Yeah.
And it basically meant it was the highest spell damage build he could go for.
Yeah.
Like Prowler's Claw's mythic passive is penalty lethality. Stacks with Cyrilda's, which by the way is the one armor pen item that didn't or magic pen item that didn't get nerfed in the patch. So like Cyrilda's builds actually got better in the Drill update. Stacks that with, again, the same Prowler's Claw, and just has a lot of damage. His Qs will hit really, really hard on that build. Late summon here on the Herald, and it will be plates number 2 and 3, knocked off the bottom lane.
Yep, Danny not able to get too much more from that, but giving him a little bit extra gold there. Vulcan standing away, so he doesn't actually have to share it with his marksman player. Trying to get Danny that additional gold. Something we saw them do so much throughout playoffs. It was very, very effective, just funneling gold into him, trying to get him ahead. A lot of action in this river, though, early on. Jojo moving down, Inspired in the area, so they're trying to compete for vision, trying to sweep this out, but not actually catching either of those wards. You know, their read was that the ward line was going to be in the river, but you see this line of wards right there, 400 Thieves, really kind of circumvented the sweepers. So some intelligent placements on that, and EG didn't have the correct information on where those wards would be placed.
Looking again at the red buff steal. 100 Thieves looking around, but EG safe enough down here. Kaisa calls, hey, no one's in my lane right now. I'm getting a free push. Ezreal probably moved. Indeed, he did, and Inspired able to grab his red. Doesn't have full vision, so he smites it. Didn't know someone's around the wall or there's a ward somewhere, so plays it safely. You can see a defensive ward just go down for Vulcan as well. Definitely playing it with respect to what 100 Thieves might be doing. Still a very close game here. 400 gold difference plus a dragon. So it is very slightly EG favored. I just worry about what their mid game looks like because, again, it'll be hard for them to pick fights, and 100 Thieves, much easier for them to do so.
Yeah, I think a lot is going to rely on, you know, can they continue stacking these objectives, right? Can they grab this next dragon, have this focal point on the map where 100 Thieves is going to have to come to them, and then try to really take over vision in that area, force them to be face checking into you. try to create that sort of a difficult situation. So I'm getting more and more aggressive. You know, the early laning phase did feel like it was going in Impact's favor, but Triforce now complete. When you do go for the tier 2 boots, you are going to be delayed on your mythic timing, and Ssumday is really making the most of this, has been very adept at actually harassing Impact under his tower. Yes, Impact almost had that 1v1 kill, wasn't quite able to get it, and it's him actually getting the tower damage down. You know, it's about half that damage off the tower. They are looking to fight around this Herald, though, and Impact is TPing back in.
Yeah, but I get tagged for a second. Jojo goes in for the fight, gonna land the chain as well. Sidesteps the charm, looks really good. Gets out, gets the Everfrost gone. Now on the left-hand side, we have Huhi running a stopwatch. Will he be burned? Ult's gonna be able to find him. One hit left. Inspired grabs him, and he will come back with a Nautilus kit. Is it gonna be enough now as Wukong knocks up the team, finds some pretty good damage. Kaisa's in as well. Is it enough? Abbeddage, flash follow. Inspired wants him, but he's not quite gonna burn. No, he does. I think that was the red buff knocking him down. Traded back one for the Gnar. Impact gonna heal right back on a Ssumday, though. Puts on the shield, looking for the snip, and he's not quite gonna find any more. Still, though, that team
the cross
fight.
map ulti.
+1 as ult will not tag. Aimed wide, but Ssumday doesn't have a good way out.
Whoa.
And FBI sidesteps at Wukong. Trades back onto the Gwen, holding for his W
He
cooldown.
baited him.
Oh, that was closer. That was sick.
Does he actually check back? Wait,
Sweeper sees him.
wait.
Sweeper sees him. Sweeper sees him. I don't think he wanted to stop him.
No, that was the other person's sweeper. That was Closer's
Oh,
sweeper.
it was?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He didn't hit
It's
it.
Closer's sweeper. That is actually too funny. Wow, that was good stuff. That is good stuff
That's
right there.
Baker
He got it
Flash
with
from
the S move.
MSI.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the classic. It's like the Shaco Juke or the classic on this. Jojopyun, though, making a big difference in this again. Catching Abbeddage on the rotation, pushing him out. Huhi does buy time here with the early stopwatch, but Inspired connecting, gets that kill, and the resets are always going to mean trouble in these fights. FBI joins, but it is quite light. And again, Vulcan is creating so much space for them in the team. Yes, the Braum does eventually go down, but the health is so much higher for EG as a result of that. And it's a very nice escape, really nice S-move juke here. You know what this is, if you don't realize, is that when you clone, your clone basically just like stops moving, right? So it looks like you clone over the wall. If you just walk to the wall and you press S, it appears that you've jumped over the wall, right? And in this situation, should he have known that? Did he know there wasn't a pink ward in the brush? Because that was actually, oh, never mind. There's another ward right there that would have been shutting that off. Because I was wondering,
Right.
Could he have actually known that that was the sweeper turning off, but he couldn't? So just really well played there by Closer. Hey, if it doesn't work, you die. But he would have died if he just played it out normally anyway, right? So really, really good stuff. So good Closer
Yeah,
Oscar.
that's good. Standing
good.
still.
Yeah.
Listen, that is a talent sometimes.
It
Okay?
is. He's playing a clone.
Yeah, that's good. Alrighty, well, Wave's going back down, 1,600 gold lead and a second dragon. It is EG who have found their ways right better and better in this game. Again, I've been really concerned about what the mid game would look like for them, but so far, smooth sailing. It looks pretty solid. They found those picks they wanted, and that's impressive here. So they're going to keep this one going. 18 minutes now into the game. Second Herald cleanly attacked. That will guarantee, almost certainly guarantee, an actual turret kill.
Yeah, and they did grab another dragon as well. During all those replays, they grabbed their second dragon, so working their way potentially here towards Soul. It is an Ocean Soul, which is going to be very nice, especially when we were thinking about that Gwen versus Gnar matchup. Gnar really relies heavily on chipping you down. Looks like 100 Thieves are kind of debating, do they actually want to commit to this? Now that Abbeddage has arrived, we'll see if they go for it, but the eye exposed, no shot to do so, so EG do claim it. 100 Thieves move everyone down to try to look for a contest, but are not able to find it and won't even get mid pressure.
Yeah.
It is also Jojo pushing out top, so Abbeddage are going to have to go up here towards top to try to answer that pressure. Bot looks like it's pushing very slightly, and both top laners are going to head down to answer, so all things considered, it is better there for EG.
Nice try. Leona would have landed that, you know? But ultimately, all right, no engagement behind. They got a little poke. Mid lane will almost die, and with the numbers advantage, 4-2, they can just stay. This is going to be turret
It's dead.
falling, so enough siege. EG 4-0 on neutral objectives, and that's actually meant they've gotten both turrets now as well.
Yeah, I've got to give so much credit to them. I actually think that they've been very active with this comp. You know, I think a lot of it is because Jojopyun has just been laning better than Abbeddage. You know, he's been creating pressure. I think that drew a lot of 100 Thieves members towards mid, and I think Vulcan in particular has been exceptional in these skirmishes. He's been such a difference maker, right place, right time, 100% KP in this game. You know, Braum is not really considered one of these super active champions. It is generally looked at as more passive, but he has been able to find a way to be such a difference maker in most of these skirmishes, and I think that has been the biggest difference for them thus far in this game, though it is still quite close. 2K in the favor of EG. They do have the two dragons in their favor, so definitely looking good. And Danny is going to be fully stacked on the tier before their next fight, very likely. Just needs about one more Q, I think, and then he will be ready to go. Has a tremendous amount of CDR, and with the extra call fields, you can expect it probably is the Ceruldas, so has so much CDR at this point in the game.
Yep, and then it'll be Prowler's Claw 4th. And in the previous game, it was the fighter version of QSS, Silvermere Dawn.
Yep.
Health and MR and...
that one's really stat efficient, if I do recall.
Yeah, it's actually really good. So is the Kenpunk Chainsword. I know Flowers talked about Skarner players doing it. That's one I identified as well when the patch came out. Like, we should just see like generic
AD buffs on it.
It was like 10 haste, 100 health, and 10 AD. There's gonna be a big knockup. That might be enough. Will it kill Jojopyun? Not just yet, but he's low, and it's gonna be a 1-for-1. Viego gets one, Nautilus the other. Gold in a better spot here. Both mid laners die.
Nice charm though from Abbeddage to set that up. Being able to try to find that pick onto Jojopyun. Abbeddage was great on the Ahri in the later stages of the game yesterday as well, finding so many of their key picks. But Jojopyun able to get enough damage out that as the reinforcements came through, they're able to finish off the kill on the Ahri. Huhi, of course, will have to back off, and this will mean Impact grabs a tower here. So EG, again, coming out with these incremental advantages, it feels like after a lot of these skirmishes, Ssumday will be able to trade back on the bot side, so we'll see if they can kind of even out that gold.
And that will be the turret falling. So 1 on the board, finally behind the Thieves. We are Nash's Tooth for Impact. You can go Cosmic. He has before. That would be the tankier option. While still giving good damage, but we can watch this again. But I guess the turret goes down. Everfrost kind of zone him away. And as he takes the chain, really good prediction into the hook.
Yep, just lands the charm, the hook there to follow up. But Jojopyun with his dying breath getting so much damage out there. Proxy Electrocute has the Ignite down, lands the full combo. Inspired does come through to try to clean up that kill. And Danny here getting the red leashed for himself. Closing in on those 3 items. Of course, FBI is on Kraken plus BD, so a lot of frontline damage here again, favoring that same build that we saw last time. We'll see if he is going to be looking to try to dive in with the team or more just focusing on hitting those frontliners. Because it is interesting to see Kaisa really kind of rising and picked alongside a lot of this dive, but people, at least thus far in these 2 games, have not been super aggressive about trying to dive through.
Ooh, that's going to be the charm landing. Everything going to hear, and the chain going to give him away. Jojopyun down to 100 HP. Closer finds the kill. Beautifully done by Abbeddage. We get the dive at FBI, and Jojopyun dives into the dirt. Now we get ourselves the 3rd dragon of the game. 4v5, and EG stick around. Do they have remotely the poke required, though?
Gnar is almost dead.
Smite is a possibility. Going to be claimed by Closer. Team fight starts. Here we go. Closer going to knock out the back line. Down low is Vulcan. Closer dives in, and he will finish the job. 2nd kill in a row now. Looking for a bit more impact to jump the wall. One traded back by Danny. Stays alive. Goes in for the damage on a Huhi. 2 more autos will kill. He'll find it. Inspired. Able to wake right back up. And Ssumday gonna get him away. Danny jumps in. Be careful. Abbeddage needs 1 more spell to find a kill. Just barely gets out. 2 for 2 is the total kill count. EG actually won a team fight 4v5.
Man, yeah, that was really close. But again, Abbeddage finding another charm. It just feels like he's coming alive back-to-back days in these mid games. Really been good with the picks. Looking to try to steal away that blue if it was actually being taken. Of course, it was not. EG, evening out the kills in that fight. Of course, they were down a member to start. Yeah. It's just the charm of the wall. Abbeddage, good positioning here. You can see the W started. So he actually was very quick on the reaction, it looked like, from Jojopyun, but gets tagged out of it. It does take you out of the dash on that. No hesitation from FBI, straight in with the ulti to help to finish him off. And then again, starting this up, but I think it was a good contest because you look at Ssumday's health, the Mega Gnar is about to expire, Abbeddage has no more ulti charges, and the ulti from Vulcan there, again, very effective, putting up the passive stacks. Closer dives into the back line, but they're not really able to follow it up because there's no ulti on FBI. Ssumday's already out of the Mega Gnar form, so they kite back, they get these resets, inspired very, very low. Another charm really making a difference because if that charm doesn't connect, if he actually can clone that charm or something and go forward, maybe they can actually continue forward and win that fight very, very heavily. But a couple of key charms there from Abbeddage making the difference, to really keep 100 Thieves from losing more.
And Impact did a really good job kind of zoning out the backline. The fact the divers just got like 2v3'd, as everyone else was like, but there's a Gwen.
Yep.
And okay, Ssumday dodged away from a lot of it and take too much damage, but Impact kind of just solo, held back the entire back line. Really, really well done.
I mean, that's one of the big powerful things about that Gwen is you use that Shroud, you use the Mist to really be able to kind of create this zone of safety for the rest of your team, right? You act as that pseudo front line when that Mist is up. But I've got to say, Ssumday has been playing really well around the hops. Being able to kind of backstep through Impact and then jump back over him, consistently pulling that off to create space. And in that fight, even juking out some of Impact's ultimates as a result of that. So Ssumday has been playing that very, very well, working towards what appears to be a force of nature next to try to deal with the double AP solo laners here. Ezreal, of course, going to have some magic damage. Braum got some magic damage. So
sure.
I do think it's a pretty good buy, especially given that it is the Nashers, which kind of leads you to believe he's playing sides. But this is going to die fast. Gwen will shred this, absolutely. I do think they have an inkling that it's going on, but can they actually get here in time? Jojopyun is going to be guarding the sides.
Ult for us, only a slow at this point, but closer is pushed out. It's going to be smiteable, will be claimed. Nicely done. Evil Geniuses have the support and mid push back everyone else, and they do so cleanly. Baron picked up FTX gold advantage, 3,400 to EG.
Yeah, that was great. Just really good timing on it. They knew Abbeddage was not in the area. He does TP in, but Closer just can't walk through the LeBlanc and the Braum. So yeah, the Braum ulti doesn't connect, but you have to walk over the slow field through a LeBlanc, which is just not going to happen. It does make it very, very difficult. You can see, though, the 100 Thieves feeling the efficiency of MR is very high this game. There's a Maw, there's a Banshee's Veil, there's going to be a Force of Nature. You know, they'll lock it in there as well. So a lot of resistances being built up, which does put more pressure on Inspired and Danny to really be bringing the damage in these fights. And Sorelda's is now done, so having that additional armor pen in that build is going to really kind of help to ramp things up.
Push forward again. Minute 14 to go till the, well, it would be EG's third dragon, but the fourth of the game.
Abbeddage looking.
Yeah, wants to play in that brush and has teammates nearby. Control wards give them a bit of safety, but now spotted on the way over. FBI knocks down one of the control wards. EG for now just playing for the waves. We still see 2 minutes left on this Baron buff.
This is kind of risky for Jojo, though. He's got no vision, and he's going down towards that bottom side. Like, look at the map. There's no wards. Vulcan is heading down, but he doesn't really know he's safe until just now, where Vulcan and Danny are looking to move and cover. So was patient enough, waited for them to get mid-prio. Then as they get mid-prio, EG moves from mid down towards bot, now moving up into the jungle here, pushing in multiple waves here with their solo laners, and they're going to try to bounce between, you know, that mid tier 2 and this bot tier 2, Inspired in position to go to either side wherever he is needed. If no one responds mid, they'll just chill bot. They'll take that mid lane tower with the Gwen very, very easily. Inspired can even go and answer that if they need to. And they see Ssumday top, so there's really not that much of a threat. 100 Thieves are going to have to answer mid, though. They're TPing deep. They're going to try to look for the flank here.
Pinch shift, double knockup. Here comes Wukong as well. Big damage into Danny. Going to flash over the wall. Stays safe for now. FBI cannot find his target anymore. Ssumday coming around. Looking for his first stun. Inspired jolting back to safety. FBI still stays alive. And it's forced to be Inspired. Zone you stopwatch. Now we've got look at Abbeddage. 100 HP left onto him. They're going to find the flash forward. Jojopyun gets that kill. 1 for 0. The stun lands on a Wukong. And 100 Thieves get absolutely nothing but a pair of coffins. 4-0, EG gonna push in for more.
Let's see how much EG can get. I mean, they have that mid lane wave. Are they gonna go for the end here? 30 seconds on a lot of these death timers. Do they just go for inhibs and reset? Or do they try to push for the end? 9 seconds here on Huhi. It would be a risky end, but they are posturing forward. They're for sure at least gonna go for the inhib. The base was not stopped. I don't think they can end. So they are gonna back it up. Respectful play here. They're low on health. Look at the damage from Danny, though. 4,700 in that skirmish. Vulcan was just applying passive to everybody, and they have to play so carefully around that. Doesn't mean they're going to be able to grab the dragon here as well. Let's watch this one more time. It was the Gnar TPing in very, very deep on the mini-map here. You know, way back here, he's looking for this play. Danny, very smart with his flash, though, flashing back this way, knowing the Gnar is going to be coming in from this side. You know, not retreating into the Gnar, or he would have been going down in a hurry. And then watch Vulcan. Like, look at the passive. It's just on 3 players at a time here. He's just kind of walking around, autoing different people so that they're all threatened. FBI with 3 stacks of passive, you can't fight. He has to wait for it to expire. Ssumday, 3 stacks of passive, you can't fight either. He has to back it up. And that little play, you know, from Vulcan is helping to threaten and create space in such an effective manner. You know, Danny hitting a lot of his spells there, really pumping out the damage. Prowler's Claw now complete, so the mythic bonus from 4 completed items is a big spike. And EG are just skirmishing really, really effectively. Like, their fighting has been so good, and I just feel like I can't say enough about Vulcan. He's really, really impressed me on the Braum.
He does look really good. I find, you know, 2 to 3 individual, like, small things every single fight. So in this case, Inspired predictively stopwatch the Gnar ulti. Because it's basically instant cast, right? Like, if he's on top of you, if you press start, you've been knocked back, you've been functionally stunned, and he stopwatched. It was the only person who even had a Gnar range. It wasn't like he, like, flashed into 5 people. He's like, stop! It's like, oh, he's on me. Yeah, it's me. And, like, was right, and then walked out with 200 HP. Like, very, very impressive play. Great hands here on Evil Geniuses. Looking to take care of business now.
FBI.
Yeah, a decent chunk in FBI. Not going to fight this one very easily now. Is a 3-item Kaisa. Right, that is an Infinity Edge if he can get to hit someone. It's just been so tough for him.
Yeah, it is really tough, and he has no resistances, so he's very relying on that Nautilus to kind of protect him with the Locket. You know, they have no exhaust. If LeBlanc combos you, you're going to die, right? LeBlanc is very strong. If you're getting chunked up by the Ezreal, it's tough. They're going to look for Ssumday.
Gnar jumps in on the 4, Flash pulls in everyone he can. FBI goes in, and they're going to shut down Danny. Gnar trades his life, but will it be enough? A bunch of knockups come through for Closer, but it might just not be enough. It's still just in the same spot as last time. Inspired, reset after reset, finding more and more to kill in the rubble of the top lane turret. He plays Kaisa better than FBI does. He does everything better than 100 Thieves as Inspired wipes off the map and takes it home. Nexus turrets fall, EG picking up where they left off, crushing every team in the LCS.
What a way to finish. What an incredible final fight there from Jojo and Inspired, taking over with the resets. Has turned in an incredible performance as EG out-skirmish, out-fight 100 Thieves. Celebrating the win, taking the extra time here to enjoy it all as Closer can do nothing. I love that little S-Duke there again at the end. He's like, I got you earlier though.
Oh, impressive stuff. They pad a few seconds of the game time. Really beautifully done. And the fact that, hey, mid lane, super spicy.
Yeah.
We had a bit of an int under the tower at level 3, and he came back and was like, I'm still winning this lane. I'm still the better mid laner. Jojopyun played with extreme confidence. Danny, finally at the end, gets picked off, a good engage, but just such a well-played game by Evil Geniuses. Our defending champions are taking names so far.
Absolutely. I mean, this was a